Hi, this is Ajay Anand and welcome to science classes from excelup.com. In this lesson, you will learn about Teridophytes. The ferns and horsetails, they are examples of Teridophyte. Teridophytes, they are the first terrestrial plants with vascular tissues, which means that xylem and phloem are present in Teridophyte. So, which was absent in Bryophyte or in algae. In case of Teridophyte, a Sporophyte is the dominant phase, and a Sporophyte's body is well differentiated into root, stem and leaves. And these root, stems and leaves, they have their vascular tissues present. Okay. Now, leaves of Teridophytes, they can be of two types. One is called microphylls and number two is called macrophylls. For example, Selaginella, they have microphylls, ferns have macrophylls. Now, what is the difference between micro and macrophylls? The microphylls, they are much smaller in size and macrophylls are larger in size. Another key difference is that when a leaf has a single vein, then it is called a microphyll. And when a leaf has multiple veins, then it is called macrophylls. Okay. As far as habitat is concerned, Teridophytes, they are found in cool, damp and shady places. Some of them, they may flourish in sandy soil also. Teridophytes, they are used as medicinal herbs, and many Teridophytes, they are used as ornamental plants. Let us try to understand the life cycle of Teridophyte. So, as I have discussed earlier, that a Sporophyte is conspicuous and is of bigger duration, and Gametophyte is less conspicuous and is of much smaller duration. The Gametophyte is also called prothallus because it has a thalloid shape, simple shape. But in case of Teridophytes, both Gametophyte and Sporophyte, they are independent living. So, which means that Gametophyte is photosynthetic. It can make its food. That is why it can live independently. This diagram, it shows the life cycle of Teridophyte. This is the Sporophyte phase. These are the leaves and these are rhizoids. A Sporangium or spore bearing organs, they develop on the leaf axis and they produce spores. After meiosis, spores are produced. So, because of meiosis, the ploidy of spores, it becomes 1N or haploid. These spores, they germinate into Gametophyte. As you can see that the Gametophyte has a simple body and the Gametophyte bears male and female sex organs. The male sex organ is called antheridium and the female sex organ is called archegonium. The antheridium produces male gametes or sperms and archegonium produces female gametes. The sperms, they need water to swim up to the female gamete. And once fertilization takes place, zygote is formed and zygote is diploid. So, it has 2n number of chromosomes. And these zygotes, they further develop to form the Sporophyte. So, that is how alternation of generation takes place. So, this is the Sporophyte phase and this is the Gametophyte phase. Now, spores can be of different sizes or of similar sizes. So, if they are of similar size, then the condition is called homospory and spores are called homosporous. And if spores are of different sizes, then it is heterosporous, for example, in Selaginella and Salvinia. But most of the Teridophytes, they are homosporous. The bigger spore is called megaspore and it develops to produce female Gametophyte. And the smaller spore is called microspore, which develops to produce male Gametophyte. In some plants, the female Gametophyte is retained on the parent plant for a variable period. And this is very important because this is the precursor to seed habit. What happens in seed bearing plants? In case of gymnosperms and angiosperms, the seeds they develop inside ovary, okay, and the ovary, as say for example a mango fruit or any other fruit, the ovaries they are inside the fruit, okay, or sometimes the ovary, the mature ovary forms a fruit, and for a certain period of time the fruit remains on the tree so that it get proper amount of nutrition, so that seeds can be more reliable and they can withstand the unfavorable conditions, okay. So what happens, the seeds it gives survival advantage to plant, and that is why this feature of some of the Teridophytes is important to understand how plants evolved from non-seed bearing plants to seed bearing plants. Another important point is that plants, based on their ability to produce seeds, plants are divided into two categories, phanerogams and cryptogams. Those plants which do not produce seeds, they are called cryptogams. Cryptogams, and those which produce seeds, they are called phanerogams. So gymnosperms and angiosperms, they are phanerogams. Now the Teridophytes, they are divided into four classes. Number one is Psilopsida, number two Lycopsida, number three Sphenopsida, and number four is Pteropsida. The example of Psilopsida is Psilotum, for Lycopsida Selaginella and Lycopodium. In case of Sphenopsida, it is Equisetum or Horsetail. In case of Pteropsida, it is Dioteris, Teris, and Adiantum. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.